This is Matt with Mobile Solar. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 most common mistakes that we see when people bring in their camper vans with their self-built electrical systems for us to do some upgrades on. The most common mistake we see is people using an undersized switch. So we'll see a lot of 12-volt systems with a 3,000 watt inverter using a switch like this or like this. These are rated for 300 amps and 275 amps respectively, which is just not quite enough if you have a 3,000 watt inverter. Yes, technically that's under 300 amps, but in my experience, when you're pushing these close to 300 amps at a continuous rate, they're getting hot enough to literally melt. We've seen the plastic on the switches melt. We've seen the connectors just be charred. The first thing is you really can't torque these down that tight before it just breaks. So it's just not that well built of a switch. It would be fine if you were using it for something like a 50 or 60 amp load, maybe even 100, but I would not use this on a 300 amp continuous load by any means. We always recommend either the Easy Mount switch from BEP or the Aegis switch. Those are rated for 400 and 500 amps continuous. The next common mistake we see is people using THHN or Romex instead of a fine stranded cable. So they'll go to Home Depot, they'll pick up a bunch of the properly sized cable, but it's not the right type. So THHN is made up of just a few strands of copper, and Romex is often made of just one single strand. And that does not have any flex, it's very rigid. So as soon as you start hitting bumps in the road, these strands are gonna come loose out of the lugs or ring terminals that you've crimped onto them. The best types of wire to use are either marine cable, which is a fine stranded tin coated wire that won't corrode and lasts a long time, or you can use welding wire, which is just a very fine stranded wire without the tinned coating. Neither of those are gonna come loose over time as your van or vehicle is vibrating as you're riding down the road. The next mistake we see, and this is often due to budget constraints, is people using a battery isolation manager, also called a BIM, an isolator, a combiner, a relay, a solenoid. They're using this instead of a DC to DC charger. So this is not doing anything to clean up the power that is being sent to your lithium battery. It can end up damaging your alternator or damaging your lithium battery. This is a passive device. It's only acting as a switch that closes the circuit when you're driving and opens the circuit when you stop. A DC-DC charger is actively modifying the voltage and current, so it's exactly what your alternator and battery can handle. So one bonus tip, we used to see a lot of people installing the Lynx distributor incorrectly. They would land the fuses in the wrong place, the wires in the wrong place, they would land the washers and nuts underneath of the lugs, and there would be extra heat and resistance there. We used to see a whole lot of that, but now that we've posted this video on how to install the Lynx distributor properly, we've seen much less issues there.